Logical, illogical, or non logical? I have from time to time been accused of being too logical. It's always struck me as odd, but yes, people will actually say that. I'm reminded of this having recently been watching a British comedian by the name of David Mitchell on TV. Now, I think he's very, very funny, but also, most noticeably, he is frighteningly clever and cuttingly logical. He's able to see immediately the logical flaws and inconsistencies in what others say. Now, I used two adjectives in the previous paragraph to describe David's intellect. I said that he was frighteningly clever and cuttingly logical. Intelligence in another person frightens us. It intimidates us and makes us feel inferior. A defensive reaction in the face of this threat is often, therefore, to belittle the importance of intelligence. He's too clever by half. She's too smart for her own good. If someone is gifted in a particular way in which I happen not to be, the safe tactic is to diminish the importance of that gift. Logic is cutting in two senses. First, it cuts to the heart of the matter. Second, it cuts the ground from under us. Because of this, it's also cutting in a third sense. It cuts through us. It can be very painful to have a cherished idea or belief sliced apart by logic. Such cutting logic is sometimes appropriate and sometimes not. Statements are sometimes made that are not intended to be logical theses, and it's not appropriate to respond to them as if they were. The problem is, though, that some of these not intended to be logical statements are presented in the guise of logic. How is a logical person expected to know? Advice to logical person. Assume a statement is not intended to be logical. In my experience, most statements are neither logical nor intended to be, even when presented in the guise of logic. This includes my own oh so logical expositions, too, by the way. No doubt I'm considering all kinds of non logical motivations within and beneath my logical arguments, concealing them even from myself. There's a difference between illogical statements and non logical statements. This, for instance, is an illogical statement. All criminals are human beings, therefore, all human beings are criminals. Even if both claims in that statement were determined empirically to be true, the statement itself would remain illogical because, therefore, does not hold. This, on the other hand, is a non logical statement. I feel like shit today. I'm sure we don't want to take that too literally in many of the possible senses it could have. I guess the difficulty arises when an illogical statement is made with a non logical intent. No wonder communication is so difficult. There's clearly a place in the world for quick, clean, logical thinking. Irrational beliefs and claims deserve to be challenged, although perhaps sensitively rather than cuttingly, something I'm not always capable of myself. And they need to be challenged more cuttingly if they claim to be rational. There's also clearly room in the world for the non rational, which should never be challenged on rational grounds. The world is a richer place because of the abundance of the non rational. My preference for one kind of food, for example, or one particular kind of music or art over another, is never rationally based. Any claim that it is should be challenged by rational logic. As a final aside, I really do wish I was half as clever, quick witted, and logical as David Mitchell.